Joining me on the news to unpack this is Director, Media and Advocacy at National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Femi, Babafemi. Good morning. Glad to have you join me. I mean, it's almost a year now. This boy has been shot in the eye. What is taking the agency so long to get this young boy the necessary medical attention he needs?
Well, this has to do with the preference of the parents to have him taken to the U.S. For medical attention. And the agency has been with them on that. I must state, first, that indeed the agency sympathizes with the family. We are very much with them. We been with them from the beginning. Promises were made to them, and we have never reneged or deviated from the promises made to them. Indeed, they applied to the U.S. Embassy for visa for them and the little baby to be taken to the U.S. for medical attention. And the agency has, in that regard, written to the U.S. Embassy to inform them that the agency will be responsible for their travel expenses and their medical bills. All of those are well documented. Now, as much as we continue to speak with the embassy officials to encourage them or to plead with them to grant the family visa, it's also something that is beyond our control. We cannot dictate or determine who the embassy when they issue visa. And even as at the last time that they were refused visa just about 2 weeks ago or thereabout, I can also confirm that indeed the chairman of the agency, when he had that, he had to call some of the officials of the embassy directly to speak with them and see engage with them to allow the family reapply. In fact, the head of our protocol of the agency has been working with them in this regard from day one. So it's not as if the agency has abandoned or neglected them or reneged on its promises, but because of the preference of the family to take the child to the U.S. for treatment and issuance of visa
permit me to
is
cut
something
you
that
there,
is not.
Mr. Babafemi. Just to cut you there, permit me to cut you there. When you say it's the preference of the family to take the child abroad, what other alternative did you provide to the parents?
Oh, indeed. Don't forget that there are also facilities here or elsewhere. But then don't forget that it's their preference. We cannot dictate where they want to have their child treatment. For us, that's really not. But if they believe it's the U.S., they can get the best of treatment. We're with them. It costs us much more, and we are very much committed to that. So that's exactly what I'm trying to
say. But you know, this is time bound,
there are no alternatives.
Yes, you know, this is time bound. Looking at the critical nature or state of the child, the more delay is being made, the more critical his condition gets. What efforts are being made to liaise with authorities to help expedite action to fly this boy abroad and get the necessary treatment he desires before he goes blind?
Now, I have just told you now that soon after they were refused visa the last time, that the chairman of the agency himself made calls to the embassy officials to see, plead with them to allow this family reapply so that they can they can reconsider their application. Don't forget, you and I know for a fact that indeed issuance of visa depends, that's it, at the discretion of the issuing embassy. It's not what an agency like the NDLEA has control over. We can only plead with them and provide all the necessary documentation they need from our side,
but
all of which we have done.
Yes, I mean, it bothers me, you know, and I want to ask you again, why couldn't the agency take up the visa application for this child, knowing they are responsible, guilty, you know, for the condition of this child? Now, beyond that, you made mention of calls being made to the embassy. Which other authority are you liaising with to help put pressure on the embassy to ensure his visa is processed as soon as possible?
Well, it's the embassy we have to deal with in this case. Don't forget that this is not a matter that it's not known to other authorities in government. This authority.
But did you
At
reach
all
out to
levels of
them?
government,
Did the
this has
agency
been.
reach out to them? When you say authorities and governments are aware, what collaborative efforts have you made to reach out to different authorities to ensure, all hands are on deck, pressure is being mounted to ensure that the agency, or the embassy rather, grants visa access to the child?
All of those, I can assure you, all of those are being done. And that's why I'm telling you that indeed we're doing all within our power to ensure that the embassy reconsiders its position to grant them visa. And that we have never failed to, even with the utmost urgency that it deserves.
But this is well over a year. When you say your chairman has put calls across to the embassy, you're speaking with some persons or some stakeholders, this is well over a year. And this boy's condition tends to degenerate as time passes by. I believe you need to do much more in terms of putting pressure on the embassy or even the agency, NDLEA itself, taking over the application of visa for this child. What other measures would you like to explore to help expedite action to ensure this child can be taken abroad for necessary treatment?
All that is within our power to do, they are all the things we are doing at the moment. We cannot go and issue visa on our own to them. We can only work with those who have that responsibility to issue visa, for them to reconsider their position and do what we're seeking, what we're pleading with them to do, and that's exactly what we've been doing.
Yes, just to chip in there, how about the Minister of Foreign Affairs? Have you made efforts, whatsoever to contact them and speak with them on also, in a way to expedite action for this delayed treatment for this child?
In situations like this, the agency does not work in isolation. That's why I've just told you that we're doing all that is within our power to ensure that they get the needed reconsideration by the embassy.
Well, we'll try to keep in touch with you as the story develops, but thank you so much for your insight on the news. Babafemi, thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.